WSN, Wolf Sports Network.
It's season 2 of Sports Outta Pocket.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here. You like that? You like that?
We bring you the craziest controversies.
I don't even know what to say. First I was heartbroken because Aaron Rodgers left, and now, of course, he just gets injured and he's out for the rest of the season.
Fantasy Sports Update.
For the first time, I'm actually optimistic about my team. I think I drafted some good players, and I think my team's going to perform this year.
Your team is mid.
Okay.
And the hottest takes.
You said what?
I'm sorry, Justin Jefferson is not the best receiver in the NFL. New members, new segments.
Sports Outta Pocket is back and better than ever.
Let's go.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Halloween edition of Sports Outta Pocket. Now, I know it's November 1st, but here at Outta Pocket, we are still in the Halloween spirit. If you are watching us on the YouTube stream, you can see, to my right, we have the Marshmallow Man. We have Mr. Banana. And to my left, helping us all sound pretty, we have Top Gun Maverick. Man, how are y'all doing?
I'm doing great.
Well, Brennan, I'm a little. Whoa!
Wait a minute! Whoa, what's going on? Hey, is this Sports Pack? All of a sudden, I'm Willoughby Ray?
No, well, listen, I was gonna say, I'm looking around and we're all dressed up, and then I look at you and you're just Steven. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but
It's a little scary.
Okay. Wow. Okay, look. So I am wearing a costume. You guys can't tell who I'm dressed up as?
No.
Zach Galifianakis?
You look like a very.
No, not Zach Galifianakis.
You look like a very handsome.
All right,
host.
hold on. Let me see if this will help out.
Let's see it.
Uh-oh.
Let's see it.
Wait a minute.
Wait
a minute.
Who is it?
It's Brendan. He was right. It is Brendan Willoughby Ray. I knew you looked familiar.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Stephen Willoughby Ray, and if I have to say anything, it's that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time, and Alabama is the greatest college football dynasty of all time. And let me also tell you this, Miami Heat might have had a slow start, but they are going to win the NBA championship this year. There's no doubt about it. Here is what I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Sports Outta Pocket is the greatest sports talk station in the world because they're the only station that you can get when you have dumb takes like this. Okay, let's get it.
Thursday? Did I miss Wednesday's show?
I'm telling you. All right, well, let's get into the main event.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
We in here talking about practice.
It's time for the latest sports controversies.
Just real quick before we start, I would like to apologize to anybody that knows me personally, that are Georgia fans out there. I know it's disgusting watching me in an Alabama shirt, but I have to get into character, man. Brendan Willoughby Ray is always wearing that Alabama gear. All right, so let's get it started. Marshmallow Man, what you got?
First of all, this is like a big AC bubble in here. Like, it feels great, man. 24/7 air conditioning. Now listen. Earlier, if you've been paying attention to the NBA world, the trades are already flying, man. We're like 2 weeks into the season. And one I want to point out specifically is the James Harden trade. Now, this is why I find it so controversial. I mean, look, if you look at the trade, obviously James Harden got what he wanted as he was clearly unhappy with Josh Harris and the entire Sixers offense as a whole. The Sixers got what they wanted and snagged multiple high-end picks and a couple little plug-in pieces. But the Clippers, on the other hand, gave away way too much, in my opinion, for a player that I strongly believe won't give them the production that they want from him. There's so much the Clippers would need to happen for all this to go right. They would need all of these older, injury-prone players to take a sip from the fountain of youth and play a full 82-game season, plus the playoffs if they get where they want to. They're going to need... I mean, we've seen it all over the NBA. Sometimes having way too much star power is a problem. So what I'm questioning is, are the Clippers overvaluing James Harden? Are they not seeing what everybody else is seeing? Washed up. Look, James Harden, he's going to sit on the bench for 3 months. My costume, I'm James Harden 3 months from now. Are they not seeing what I'm seeing?
Yes, Marshmallow Man, you are correct. James Harden, listen. This version of James Harden, that was way too much of a price for the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers, that was just a dumb trade by them. I don't know what else to call it as. I mean, it was dumb. It was idiotic. It made no sense whatsoever. I mean, how does this help your team? What do you think James Harden is going to be for your team?
I mean, Clippers can push for a conference spot. They now have Paul George, James Harden. Remember, James Harden averaged 22 points a game.
But as soon as they run
season.
into like the Nuggets or they run into the Suns, I mean, it's a game over.
Conference spot. Conference spot. They also have Kawhi and Ivica Zubac.
The Clippers already had a potential team to make a playoff run. That's not what they want, though. They're pushing for more, and they believe that on their end, they had that missing piece. But everyone else around them, including Marshmallow Man and Banana Man, I disagree. James Harden is not that piece.
Let me break down the trade real quick so we all know. The Sixers got a 2026 first-round pick, protected, the Clippers got a 2028 first-round pick, unprotected, 2 second-round picks, a 2029 pick swap, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, Marquise Morris, and Kenyon Martin Jr. That's what the Clippers got. I mean, no, the Sixers got. While the Clippers just got James Harden, PJ Tucker, and I mean, it's so lopsided. Like, I don't understand what the Clippers are seeing here.
They think that they're getting James Harden from 5 years ago, I guess. I don't know what else to tell you. But Banana Man, what you got?
Banana Man's up next? Okay, cool. All right, so during Colorado's 2023 football season, it's no secret that the entire Sanders family presence has been very prominent, with Deion Sanders coaching and, of course, his son, Shiloh Sanders, who I'll be talking about, contributing as a standout safety. However, in the game against number 24th ranked UCLA this weekend, Shiloh was controversially ejected in the first half after being called for targeting on a hit to Bruins running back Carson Ryan. And the controversial play occurred late in the second quarter when Ryan caught a pass and Sanders made a forceful tackle, seemingly leading with the shoulder rather than his helmet. But of course, people disagreed.
That was a clean hit, in my opinion. Now, the one on Travis Hunter was not a clean
Well, that's not what we're here talking about. Shiloh Sanders, and I think the argument by the rest is saying that the crown of his helmet did make contact with the running back, which, by rule, that is a targeting. But, of course, media took, control of the situation, and they didn't like it at all. They're calling football soft, which I think, that's an argument for a different day. But Deion Sanders did have something to say about it in the post-game conference. He said, "I believe he was not at fault because he turned his shoulder all around. He always does. He knows how to hit. I told him I'm proud of him. He was having a heck of a game. He was dominant on the defensive side of the ball. And he said, I'm sorry this transpired, but I'm proud of his effort." What do you guys think?
I don't really have a true opinion about it. I don't think it was a clean hit, just like Jackson. I'm kind of on his side with this. To be suspended a game, I think he's going to come back and he's going to be better for it. It's a lesson learned. It's one of those things to where like you do this now and then you just learn about it in the future. You still play hard.
Well, luckily it was in the first half, so he'll be able to play in this upcoming week.
Oh, that's good. I thought it was suspended a game.
No.
All right, so I'm going to end this by talking about this Chris Godwin Hail Mary debacle in this Bucks and, I'm blanking on it. Who did they play? They played
the Bills.
The Bills. Man, listen, all I got to say is that this is kind of leading into the fantasy segment real quick. Baker Mayfield, he had a fantastic game. He got me 21 points. Thank you very much. Chris Godwin had another great game. He had 17 points. Best game of his year. But what really made me angry was that there was a Hail Mary pass at the end of the game that Chris Godwin turned around for. He looked up in the sky. The football was coming towards him, and it lands directly next to him because he didn't turn his head in time, and the football landed on the ground. If he would have turned his head just a second earlier, he would have made the catch. But it didn't happen, and now everybody was on Chris Godwin for saying, dude, what are you doing? You have to make that catch. It's a game-winning situation, and he blew it. But that mostly ticked me off. It's great as a Falcons fan. Bucks lose, yay. But as a fantasy fan, man, that made me angry. But we're going to go into a quick song. When we come back, we have an interview with the Savannah Bananas.
First baseman Danny Oberst.
Danny Oberst. And also fantasy football talk. All of that when we're back.
Hey, everybody, this is Steven.
Going back, Kane at the wall. That is
and you are listening to Sports Out of Pocket.
New seasons, new rosters, and of course, a new game. Get ready to watch the Wolves jump into games like League of Legends,
What a rush!
Overwatch 2,
Hammer down!
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate,
Falcon Punch!
and the newly added Valorant.
Don't get in my way!
Missed any of the action? Well, no worries. Esports Pack will be with them every step of the way, reporting their updates every Tuesday at 2 p.m. right here on Wolves Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Hey y'all, this is Jackson from Sports Out of Pocket on Wolf Sports Network here at the University of West Georgia, and today we have a special interview with Savannah Bananas baseball player and UWG alum Danny Oberst. How's your day going?
It's good, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm glad to be here and get on and talk with you guys for a bit.
It's nice to have you on, but first things first, I'm sure you get asked this a lot. Who did you try to model your playing style after? Rather, it was defensive, offensive, like who's your MLB inspiration?
My MLB inspiration? I mean, growing up, I was born in New York, and my dad was a big Yankees fan, so I watched Jeter a lot growing up. Just liked how he played the game, played hard, kind of left it all out on the line, so I'd have to go with him growing up.
That's a very great take. If you're just tuning in, this is Jackson from Sports Out of Pocket. We are live with Savannah Banana, Danny Oberst. But second question, when you were recruited by the Savannah Bananas, what was your first impression of the team and what was just the atmosphere like?
Yeah, so I actually 2019 with Cade Marlowe, who's with the Mariners now. Me and Cade are good friends, and he kind of put in a word for me with the Bananas and got me out here in 2019. And I pretty much fell in love with it from the first day I got here. I loved everything the organization does and stands for. And at that time, it was the Coastal Plain League, and the level of baseball we were playing was great while giving a fan experience. So pretty much from day one, I've been blown away, and I'm just super thankful to be a part of it.
That's awesome. I know you've had guys like Josh Reddick, Hunter Pence, and even a Backstreet Boy. Overall, who is your favorite guest to be in a game or just be around in person?
My favorite guest, man, y'all are going to get me in trouble. I love them all. You know, everyone who's came out and played with us or just came and watched shows that I've gotten to meet, they've all been incredible, and they support us a lot. But my guy, Johnny Gomes, I met him when I was just a kid, and he kind of gave me a moment as a kid, like being a baseball fan that stuck with me, and now I've played with him a few times. So Gomes is the man. I got to give him a shout-out. I'll go with Johnny.
That's an amazing pick.
So if you're just tuning in, this is Chase Jefferson of the Wolf Sports Network, and I'm here with Savannah Bananas, Danny Oberst. And my first question is, what was your journey like to the Savannah Bananas, and what led you there?
It was kind of a rocky road, man. I graduated high school and went to play junior college ball at Indian River State. Had a good first year, and then I kind of went on a tear my second year, but I ended up dealing with some injuries. And I actually decommitted from West Georgia and just hung up the cleats for a year. And then things worked out to where I got back to West Georgia, played a year, and then got with the Bananas. First game with the Bananas, I actually pulled my hamstring and got sent home, but then got called back for the playoffs that year. And then since that, I stuck around. But, you know, there was a lot of bumps in the road getting to where we are now.
Right. Well, that's nice. And so if you're just tuning in, I'm Chase Jefferson of the Wolf Sports Network, and I'm here with Savannah Bananas, Danny Oberst. And my next question is, what's your favorite tradition that the Savannah Bananas have?
My favorite tradition? I like the pregame march and the postgame party plaza. It's basically just a chance for all the fans after the game to interact and talk with us, you know, sign a bunch of autographs, just kind of get to know everybody a little bit. I think it's super unique, and I don't think it's anything you'll see anywhere else in professional sports, like getting that much time to break down the player-fan kind of barrier wall there. So I think that's pretty special.
Right. I've never had the chance to go, but I would love to go one day. But if you're just tuning in, I'm Chase Jefferson of the Wolf Sports Network, and you're listening to Savannah Bananas, Danny Oberst. And my final question is, how does the unique and fun atmosphere that the Savannah Bananas bring affect your motivation and determination as an individual player?
I mean, the competitive spirit and everything is always going to be there, you know, when you're on the field playing. The atmosphere with, like, just have fun, be loose. I think it really translates to your performance. Since I've got here in 2019, I've said that, and I believe it to this day. Just playing loose, playing free, just leads to better results, in my opinion, so it's helped me a lot.
Right, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I'm going to pass it off to Andrew Jefferson now.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Danny, how you doing?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, and you're not seeing double, dude, I promise. That was my twin brother you just talked to, so don't worry. Different people, I swear. So, hey, everybody, this is this is Sports Out of Pocket. If you're just tuning in, we have the special privilege of interviewing first baseman for the Savannah Bananas, Danny Oberst, and my first question would be, so the Savannah Bananas are known for their unique approach to baseball. Like you emphasized earlier, there's a big separation between just traditional baseball. So my question is if you could please emphasize what it's like playing for such an unconventional yet entertaining team.
Yeah. There's a lot going on, for sure. There's a lot of different moving pieces, and it's kind of like controlled chaos, but we kind of have a saying around the organization, flip the switch, so it's like, you know, if you're up with the bases loaded and something doesn't go your way, you got to be able to flip that switch, turn it off, and if your next job is to go in the stands and greet a bunch of fans or dance, whatever it might be, you got to separate the two and make sure you're doing your best job at both of them, at entertaining and performing in the field as well.
Right, and that's perfect. I love that answer because it kind of segues perfectly into my next question. If you're just tuning in, this is Sports Out of Pocket. We are here with the Savannah Bananas first baseman, Danny Oberst, and my next question is, in addition to your on-field performance, you're also known for your enthusiastic interactions with fans. So I guess my next question would be, like you were just mentioned earlier, where's the balance between being an athlete and an entertainer, and how do you balance all that together?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's just it's a really unique opportunity, and something until you get to do it, you don't realize how special it is. So to me, like, I don't even think like I need to perform and I need to entertain. Like, I just go out there and try to be myself. You know, I'm competing my hardest on the field. I always want to win and play my hardest, but you just be yourself and greet people, and you end up talking to people, and you hear different backstories. You realize how much you have in common with these fans that, in a lot of cases, in a lot of games and sporting events, players and fans don't have the opportunity to do. And as much as, you know, we impact fans, we're also impacted by a lot of the people we meet as well. So it's just hand in hand. I don't even, like I said, I don't even look at it as like, oh, I have to go entertain. Like, I enjoy just being there and getting to interact with fans and getting to know their stories and that kind of stuff.
Right. So in your eyes, it's not really something that you had to do, like something that's on your agenda. You just kind of had the privilege of doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. And, you know, because just like MLB players do, I mean, obviously there is some interactions with, you know, fans on an MLB playing format, but with the Savannah Bananas, they just kind of bring the fans more into the game, which is something I really admire. And then I'll move into my last question. So if you're tuning in, this is Sports Out of Pocket. Andrew Jessen here interviewing the Savannah Bananas first baseman, Danny Oberst. And my last question is, my question is, could you please share a memorable moment of the game that stands out to you in your career for the Bananas so far?
I mean, there's a bunch from the World Tour, like playing in Tampa, my hometown, in front of 10,000, 15,000 people. But I got to go back to 2021. After I graduated at West Georgia, we won the CPL championship in Game 3 of the championship series. Just electric atmosphere, you know, championship series, fans going nuts. Really tough series, and we ended up winning it. So that's something that I want to stick with me.
Well, that's awesome, dude. Congratulations on that win, by the way. And like you said, I'm sure just being a Savannah Banana, there's a lot of experiences that you have, so I'm sure it's hard to choose one, but that sounds like an amazing and memorable moment. So, yeah, man, that sounds awesome. And I'm going to give the mic back to Jackson.
All right, man. Thank you.
Well, we love to thank you for your time, taking out of your day to do this interview, but definitely go West, go Wolves. We know that for sure.
Absolutely.
Always go West, go Wolves.
Player performances,
Injuries.
and trades that shake up the league.
You did not have to do that. You knew you did not have to do that. Can you live with yourself?
With fantasy football, there's no telling what's going to happen.
That's insane.
It was a rough week for me in fantasy. I lost in both of my leagues. Listen, man, Josh Allen had an incredible performance, but then when your number one tight end gets hurt and Darren Waller in the first quarter, there's nothing you can really do. And then another thing in the league that we're in right now, I lost to Gavin this week because A.J. Brown went absolutely nuts.
Even with Patrick Mahomes only scoring 5.
But A.J. Brown scored 33 points. I mean, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
A.J. Brown is catching it one-handed in the corner of the end zone with a defender on his back. There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can – listen, man, and this is the thing is my team didn't really perform bad. There was 2 guys that didn't do me any favors this week. Isaiah Pacheco only scored 6 points, and that was just – I mean, it's an anomaly whenever he gets like below 10 points all of a sudden. And then Zay Flowers, I traded for him. Last week we had a trade where I was going with Gavin, and I was like, all right, I will give you Patrick Mahomes, and in a return package I got like DeAndre Swift, Zay Flowers, and I can't remember who else. But it was DeAndre Swift and Zay Flowers that I got in a package for Patrick Mahomes, and I'm thinking, all right, it's going to be a good thing for me. Zay Flowers is
Justin Fields.
Yes, Justin Fields, and it's a great thing for me because Zay Flowers is an automatic 10 points a week. No, not this week. He had 5 receptions, but he only had 19 yards, and he got me 6 points, and then that was the dagger to my team. The team's victory this week. I had no chance, but this week, Banana Man. Guess what we got? We got ourselves a matchup. It's me and you. And let me tell you, man, right now I'm projected to beat you by 9 points. It's going to be a close matchup, but I have a good feeling. I think Zay Flowers is going to get back to form. I think Isaiah Pacheco is going to get back to form. And my receivers, I do say so myself, has to be a top 3 in the league because I got Keenan Allen, okay? I got Zay Flowers, all right? I think my team is going to bounce back this week. But how about you, Marshmallow Man?
Well, my matchup wasn't very favorable for me, anyways. I was playing you actually, Brendan Willoughby Ray.
Listen, man, I fleeced everybody in the first 3 weeks, so I have the best team in the league. What can you do?
I didn't give him any very much competition, which I didn't expect. That he beat me as bad as I thought he would. So I'm sitting down here at 2-6. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, if there's any shot of me making a last-minute playoff push, it needs to start now. So this past Tuesday, October 31st, spooky season, me and Ryan worked up a trade that people consider controversial, but I disagree. So I gave him George Pickens, who had 1 catch for me last week that happened to be a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him the Falcons defense, which he really wanted, and Rashad White.
Don't forget that Kenny Pickett's now hurt.
Exactly. So, Rashad White's been a pretty decent running back. And I got, in return, the Seahawks defense, Drake London, which now that Tyler Heineke's our starting quarterback, I feel...
Heineke, you don't even know your own starting QB's name. That's insane.
Hey, buddy, listen. I've been on the Ritter train for way too long. Catch me a break.
Listen, we'll get to you, Mr. Loss, and you have to give somebody $25 this week.
I wonder who.
And then I got Najee Harris. So here's the thing. People didn't like, I think the weak part of the trade is the fact that I gave away Rashad White for Najee Harris. Now listen, I understand Najee Harris has been very underwhelming. But
he's been terrible.
I had to take a risk here, and if you think about the risk, makes sense because Kenny Pickett is injured now. So I feel like the Steelers, their best bet right now would probably be to lean a little more run heavy in their offensive play scheme than they have been this season, which would mean more touches for Najee Harris, which would mean a likelihood of him getting more points. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen. That's what I would recommend. But then again, I'm not a GM. I'm not a coach.
Listen, Marshmallow Fluff. There's been games.
Whoa. I haven't. Repeat that. Say my name right.
Marshmallow Man?
Thank you. I'm a marshmallow man, not a fluff.
No, you're a fluff in this league, buddy. But listen, I'm ashamed to say it. I drafted Najee Harris, I believe, 2nd or 3rd pick during the draft, which turned out to be a horrible bust of a pick. The thing with Najee is that he's able to get, 12-plus carries. Sometimes he's gotten close to 20 carries a game, and even then, even with Kenny Pickett at quarterback, it didn't matter. He's still getting the carries where he should have produced better, and he just wasn't. And I hate it for you, Marshmallow Fluff. I want you to succeed, but that trade is not good. You needed a running back like Rashad White because your running back core is already weak, and Najee just makes it worse. So listen, I'm not on the train that agrees with your trade. I'm on the train that is a little more like, I don't know what you're doing. That's why you're 2-6.
Oh, yeah.
What's your Twin Picks record? I think you're 0-1. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Hey, man. Listen, also, can we just talk about that 3-for-1 trade that happened last night for the kicker? What was going on? What was happening?
That, shall we?
Wait, hold on. Who made that trade?
It was Ryan. I think Ryan's made that trade.
Purposely tanking because he's 1-7, and I'm trying to make a trade with him right now.
Let's read this trade, and then Jackson, you can talk about the trade you're making.
No,
so
let Jackson talk about the loss to me, Banana Man. He owes me 25.
Mason got Alexander Madison, Tyler Bass, and Joshua Palmer. He dropped Kirk Cousins and Kenneth Gainwell, but then Ryan, out of all of this, acquired Jake Elliott, and that's it.
Why?
Wait, hold on. Wait, what's
the point?
Wait, hold on. Can you reiterate that?
I don't think I've ever
seen... It's a 3-for-1 for a kicker. That's all you need to know. Yeah, it's a 3-for-1 for a kicker.
What it was. The value is not there.
Jackson,
you know what? I'm going to trade him Harrison Butker for Jake Elliott.
Jackson, you take the stage because you were all high and mighty on this match against Andrew. I want to know what you have to say.
Okay.
Mr.
Hold on. I beat 2 top 3 teams. Ooh.
I still am a top 3 team. Have you seen the seating?
But you
I'm
lost.
ahead of you now because I beat you.
No, you're not.
I had the win advantage.
No, you're not.
Check
the standings.
Yeah, and Andrew, actually, Jackson's ahead of you.
I'm still ahead of you.
You're 5-3. You're 5-3.
I'm still ahead of you, buddy.
I think points 4 against
Hey,
Christian took the loss this week. That's why he's still in third place.
I'm still ahead of you, buddy. But, I was projected to win by 30-something. Lamar let me down. Niners defense scored me 1 point. I don't know what to say. I'm probably going to lose against Ryan because George Kittle is out this week, and I have Tyler Conklin in the trade I made with you. But
if you lose to a team that makes 3-for-1 with kickers,
any given Sunday, he has a solid team.
I'd be right.
You had a solid team.
I'd be right.
Can we talk about Jim Boyce, the Cowboys defense that gave me not only a pick 6, but a safety on top of that?
Yeah.
Okay, Banana
You want to
Peel.
know who I'm kind of worried about? And it's just because his quarterback's out, and now he has to play with another quarterback. Just got traded for
Mason?
Dobbs. I'm worried about T.J. Hawkinson.
Oh.
Hawkinson's still a great asset for me to have at tight end, but the thing is, he doesn't have Kirk Cousins anymore. Now he has to have that. He has to establish a whole other connection with Josh Dobbs, and I'm kind of scared, and if he's going to put up the points that's necessary for me to win my matchups.
Makes you feel better. Makes Banana Man feel a lot better over here.
Josh Dobbs is coming off a really good performance
Against Baltimore.
Yeah, against Baltimore, and the Falcons secondary just got cooked by a rookie. So,
And you also
That
want
is the one thing that I am happy about is that it is against the Falcons, so I'm thinking, listen, I'm rooting for my team. I want y'all to take the win.
And you
but
also
at the
wanna
same
know
time, if
why?
Hawkinson
I love
gets
you,
about 2
Atlanta. I love
touchdowns,
you. Don't take that personally.
You want to know why I also lost? Because they handed the ball to Gus Edwards the whole
That's all they
entire
had to do. He
game.
had 3
Darn right.
touchdowns. That's all they had to do.
dude, I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at Gavin Seaman. I was like, dude, I might have to cook something up for Gus Edwards. This is kind of getting ridiculous. But all right, I think everything's gonna turn out better for me this week. But
it's not. Don't.
Hey, look, me and you, Banana Man. It's on. Listen, take it from Stephen Willoughby Ray. You're going down.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
We gotta go to a quick song. When we come back, we're gonna get into some bums and we're gonna get fired up. When we back.
What's up, guys? This is Andrew, and you are listening to Sports Out of Pocket.
Walker on first down, it's picked off. What a play!
Only on the Wolf Sports Network.
Well, it's official. Oh, what? You didn't hear? The UWG Wolves are finally returning to the esports scene. And guess what? Esports Pack is going to be with them every step of the way. Tuesdays at 2 p.m. tune in to Wolf Sports Network to listen to us, Esports Pack, as we cover news and hot takes on popular esports games like Smash, Overwatch, and now Valorant.
They are so dead.
Only on Wolf Sports Network.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
It's time for the Sports Out of Pockets Bum of the Week.
Okay, Kansas City Chiefs. I need to have a conversation
What
with you.
happened,
Because what in the world was that? I understand. Patrick Mahomes, he had the sniffles, okay? He had the flu going into that game. So I wasn't expecting a lot coming out of this offense, but I still expected a win against the Denver Broncos. It's the Broncos defense that you're playing against. I expect at least 3 touchdowns coming out of you. I don't care if Patrick Mahomes is playing with one arm the entire time. I expect him to have a good performance against this Broncos defense, but it didn't happen. In fact, it was the worst that this Chiefs offense has performed the entire year. I mean, goodness gracious, 2 interceptions for Patrick Mahomes, 24 for 38. And we had somebody who has been lighting it up in Travis Kelce, not doing good. I think he got 6 receptions. Isaiah Pacheco, like I told you, on my fantasy team, horrible this week. He had 8 carries for 40 yards. I mean, dude, you want to talk about bum. That is about as bum as it gets when it comes to this Kansas City offense's performance. It was horrible. Y'all should be embarrassed because you lost to the Broncos. I don't care if you were sick. I don't care if you were feeling bad. If he was feeling that bad, take him out. Put in the backup quarterback if you have to. I feel like they had a better shot with him in rather than Patrick Mahomes at the time if he was feeling that awful. Okay. But at the end of the day, no. There's no excuses. I don't care if you had the flu. That was just pathetic, and y'all should be embarrassed.
Take a chill pill, Mr. Willoughby
They have an
Ray.
excuse, Stephen Willoughby Ray. Taylor Swift was not in attendance. What did you
that is the reason why.
Hey. Listen, you want me to get fired up early? Keep talking about Taylor Swift in these football games.
Hey, shout out to the Broncos, though, for playing Taylor Swift over the speakers after the game was over.
That was nice.
Great.
That's about as petty as it gets. Okay, Marshmallow Man, what you got?
All right, so we're gonna stay in the realm of the NFL, but this time we're gonna talk about another trade that just went down recently. You know, the Commanders, they're looking to go full rebuild mode. They already got rid of Montez Sweat. Now they're trying to get rid of Bryce Young, which they did. So
you mean Chase Young?
You said
Bryce Young. I'm sorry.
Bryce Young.
I'm sorry, but yeah, that would be something. No, Chase Young.
He's having a tough time reading through the aisles.
Right, you know, it's not the easiest thing to see right here. But, you know, anyways, you would think they got a pretty solid package for him, right? Right? No, they got a 3rd-round pick, 2024 3rd-round pick.
That sounds like a trade Jackson Bolts would make if he was the GM.
Yeah, I mean, look,
pretty bad.
Honestly,
Jackson,
Mason's the worst GM.
Jackson, you should be
we'll
proud because the 49ers fleeced the Commanders.
They sure did.
Which is all your trades are. I mean, compare it to the Montez Sweat trade, at least they got a 2nd-round pick for Montez Sweat. And you also got to think about this. Even if the Commanders would just let Chase Young walk away in free agency, they probably would have ended up with like a 3rd-round pick anyways around the same. So it's like, it just doesn't make sense. And it's just Martin Mayhew, that's how you pronounce his name. You are a terrible GM. Like, put Marshmallow Fluff in your spot, and I promise you this rebuild process will go through a lot faster.
I cannot take him seriously.
Hey, look, man, I could tell you can make a really good offensive lineman, man. You're blocking everybody out there.
Hey, the look on your face, I can tell how angry you really are.
Dude, I mean, this smile is not a happy smile. I'm just stuck with this. You should see my face under the. You know what? What are you doing? What is wrong with you?
What are you doing? You look like Baymax from Big Hero 6.
Okay, Banana Man, what you got?
That's a lot scarier. Please put it back on.
The Michelin Man.
Okay, so we've got some thievery going on, all right, this past weekend at the Rose Bowl, one of the most glorious venues in all of college football. The recent theft of personal items included jewelry, cash, and football-related belongings from the University of Colorado's locker room, of course, at the Rose Bowl Stadium. Now, the Pasadena Police Department is currently investigating the incident and has raised questions about the need for better protection of players and staff belongings. And while private security from both Colorado and UCLA were on site, it remains unclear who was specifically responsible for guarding the locker room. So it was just like a little miscommunication. Now, notably,
and this makes zero sense to me, there are absolutely zero surveillance cameras in either locker room, which makes no sense to me because, I mean, come on, you're just making the job easy. You had nobody on guard, and there was no surveillance. But in spite of all that, outside linebacker for the Colorado team, Jordan Dominique was one of the players who had his items stolen, but he quoted on Monday on X, but I'm sorry, it's Twitter, okay?
It's Twitter.
It's not X.
It's Twitter.
He tweeted, "Forgive and forget. To whoever snuck into the locker room and stole my chain, as well as my teammates' chains, I forgive you and wish you nothing but the best." So, I mean, it was kind of like a very sweet and sentimental tweet, which I don't understand, because I would have been pissed. I would have been fired up. You know what?
I am fired up. You can't go in and steal people's stuff while they're playing the game that we love. Come on, guys.
Colorado's built on swagger. Their swagger's gone now.
Man, all right, Jackson. Oh, I'm sorry, Top Gun. I'm sorry, Maverick.
My bum of the week is the Las Vegas Raiders as a whole.
They are. I mean, dude, and it's not been a good week for them.
Yeah,
for sure.
So they decided to sit Jimmy G and start Aiden O'Connell. Then they fired, well, obviously, this is the only good thing that has happened to them this week. They fired Josh McDaniels and fired their GM, but just put the linebackers coach at interim coach. I was saying at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of Josh McDaniels' tenure in Las Vegas, that they should have never hired him. He is an offensive coordinator. We saw what he did in Denver. He basically sold the entire team away and sent Denver in the gutter. But I don't know. Raiders fans, you should be disappointed. 3-5. We see Devontae Adams' performance. Nothing against Devontae Adams. It's just the QB situation.
That's right. All 3 Raiders fans out there, y'all ought to be disappointed in your team because that is just awful. I mean, listen, just look at the attendance and you can just tell that I'm not even kidding. The Raiders fan base is just falling off because, I mean, are you giving them a reason to stick around?
The black hole is no more, man. It's just, I mean, there's nothing to be excited for. It's a dumpster fire. I will say, though, I like the change of making Aiden O'Connell the new quarterback because Devontae Adams is way too good to be having his receptions taken away because of terrible QB play. And O'Connell's got an arm on him. I really, really like that move.
You look like if Michael Myers was a bumblebee. Like, I can't take you seriously.
You know what I'm talking about, you buddy? I'm not. You know what?
You look like a you look like a dumpster.
Okay, if we're gonna sit here all day talking about what we look like, all right.
He looks like a wiggle.
Okay, we're back to it. But look, speaking about Devontae Adams, I do feel bad for him because if he wants to play for a playoffs, he's gonna have to get out of Las Vegas. But you know who else is a bum? Or you know who?
Tell
the people
me,
that
Mr.
are actual
Willoughby
bums?
Ray.
How about these college football panelists? I mean, what are we doing? Did you see the ladies' college football rankings? Let's get fired up about it.
I am having a very bad day. I am in no mood. This is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
I can't do it right now. All right, Andrew, take it real quick.
Okay. If anyone saw, I know y'all were out trick-or-treating, getting y'all's little Halloween candy or whatever, but last night, the very first official college football rankings came out. At what time? I can't remember what time.
Does
they
it
came
matter?
out. It doesn't matter because they weren't worth looking at. Now, some people let me just read them out to you real quick before we start talking about them. And the top 6 is really all that matters. Ohio State #1. That's what has Steven, no longer Brandon. That is now Steven in the flesh. He's upset about Ohio State
I'm
being
sorry,
#1.
I cannot keep that Alabama shirt any longer. I mean, I cannot keep up the charade. Alabama,
toxic.
no, I am done.
was toxic.
That was horrible. Do y'all realize how horrible that was walking through campus with that Alabama shirt on? I felt disgusting. I felt terrible,
You
man.
felt like Brendan
Never
Willoughby
again.
Ray.
No, Stephen Lambert is back. It is no longer
Where's
Mr.
your
Stephen
Bulldogs?
Willoughby
Where's your
Ray.
Bulldogs, Steven? Where are they at? Why are they at #2? Please explain.
You want to know why they're not at #2? Because the college football panelists are dumb. Because they think Ohio State, hey, they got 2 wins over top 2 10 teams. Let me tell you right now, Georgia versus Ohio State in the Final Four. If y'all want to make us #2, go ahead. If we have to play Florida State, if y'all are #3 and Georgia's #2, sorry, Florida State, you're done. Dunzo.
Whoa. Listen. Hey, before we even get to my Seminoles, I'm going to defend your Bulldogs because I don't like it either.
We haven't lost a game. Until we lose a game, there's no reason we should be out of number one.
I agree. In Ohio State, listen, I understand. You got two big wins. Notre Dame, you got extremely lucky. Notre Dame had y'all in ropes. Now, listen, Penn State, good defensive battle, but that game was based on whose defense is going to let loose first, and it was Penn State.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is the reason they won that game.
My point is, Ohio State's defense is a reason you're undefeated. Y'all's offense is lackluster, and yes, I'm saying that. It's lackluster. Y'all let Indiana play y'all close for a little bit.
Kyle McCord is not Justin Fields or C.J. Stroud.
He's not. And Georgia, I mean, yeah, their schedule looked easy at the start. It's not anymore. They might, Mike Bobo might have been a little boo-boo, the first couple weeks. But against Kentucky, look what they did against Florida. It's something Ohio State.
Without Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers. It's like you can't look at that team, look at the past 2 years, and tell me right here, right now, they should be number one. Catfish Cowboy, I know you're livid, and you should be.
Listen, I can't describe the amount of just vile that I have when I looked at those college football rankings, because here's the thing. Until you beat us, you can't deny us. We are number one until somebody puts us off of the pedestal.
The words of Robbie
Back-to-back
Rotten.
champions. Listen, and it's like I said, in every college, this is how I agree with this. I don't care if you're a Georgia hater. I don't care if you're an Alabama fan. You cannot deny we have not lost a game since Alabama beat us in the SEC championship 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Until we are knocked off of that pedestal, we are number one in college football until somebody can knock us off.
And don't forget, y'all haven't even lost a regular season game since 2020, which was to Florida. But let's be honest, 2020 was a weird year in general.
Listen, man, 2020 I'd like to forget that ever happened. But the thing is, we are back-to-back champions, and nobody has knocked us off. I'm going to keep repeating it until somebody can actually hear me with this. Georgia Bulldogs are number one. It's not even close. And listen, if they do want to make us number two, then that's fine. Ohio State's going to, in my opinion, because here's the one thing that we're not even remembering is that Ohio State and Michigan, they have to play each other.
They're losing to Michigan.
Ohio State's going to lose to Michigan again, 2 years in a row.
3 years in a row.
For granted, though, if he still signs, it's not that hard to beat somebody. But regardless of the scandal, they would have beat Ohio State anyways.
Now, can I? And I'm just gonna make the argument since we're already fired up, and I know Marshmallow Fluff, partially Chase now, will agree to me. And let me speak that this. Let me go ahead and make this claim right here. This is completely non-biased. Florida State needs to be ahead of Michigan because Michigan has played zero, and I mean zero competition. No top 25 matchups. We look at Florida State's team. They absolutely annihilated LSU, who was number 5 at the time, and now they're climbing the rankings, and they're going to take down Brendan Willoughby Ray's Alabama Crimson Tide this weekend. We knocked off a very impressive Duke team who has a really good run game that we were able to maintain.
And Riley Leonard played.
Everyone is hyping up Michigan because they're blowing out Pee-wee teams. Rutgers was undefeated when they played Michigan. So what? They're still Rutgers. Maryland was undefeated. So what? They're still Maryland. Those are still basketball schools. Michigan has no competitions. They're cheating. Why are they ahead of Florida State, who actually earned their wins?
The thing is with Florida State, I agree that y'all are going to finish in the top 4, and that's great for y'all's school, considering the last 2 years that y'all have had to deal with.
Last 5 years, I would say.
Dude, y'all should be ecstatic with how this team is playing.
And
listen, if there's I make fun of y'all because Georgia, Florida State, I'm sorry, I think Georgia gets the edge. That's just what it is. But if there's any other team that I would actually want to see a college football championship, I have no problem with Florida State going and winning that national championship. In fact, if it ends up being Georgia versus Florida State in the national championship, then we can really get talking.
That's a popcorn matchup right there.
I would actually really like that.
Professor Jackson has a question for y'all.
Since when did Tom Hanks talk like that?
Do you see any team falling out of the top 4?
Yes.
Michigan.
Who?
Michigan.
Who replaces them?
No, Ohio State.
Ohio State's going to fall out of the top 4 because they're going to lose to Michigan in rivalry.
I'll tell you
who replaces them?
I'll tell you what's going to happen. No, you got to keep an eye on Washington.
In fact, let's get our predictions out right now.
Predictions?
How is the top 4 going to finish out when the season is over?
I got you. Easy. Number 1, Georgia.
Absolutely.
Number 2, Michigan. Number 3,
Florida State.
Because CFP loves Michigan. Number 4,
Washington.
Washington Huskies.
And let me tell you right now, That is exactly what I have. And let me tell you what's going to happen if that's the case. It is going to be Georgia versus Florida State in the national championship. And that is going to be a way better game than when we had for Georgia and TCU last year. We're not going to kill y'all, but we will end up winning the game.
Let me just say, though, don't be surprised if Washington doesn't go undefeated in the regular season. The way they've been playing the last 2 weeks against Arizona State and Stanford, I wouldn't be surprised if Washington State or Oregon State knocked them off because they still have to play them. Whoa, buddy, over here in Ohio State attire.
Get out of here, buddy. You're out of the top 4 by the end of the season.
There's no blinds.
Listen, I really believe that Georgia is... Listen, if that's the case, and if Georgia actually does end up playing Florida State in the national championship, guess what? Cue the parades in Athens. Cue the parade. Cue the confetti. It is time to go.
What about Tallahassee? Come on. Tallahassee loves to party too,
Cue
man.
the parades. It is time to celebrate because not only have we won back-to-back champions, we're about to have a three-peat, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to be back-to-back-to-back if we play y'all in the national championship. That's just the way it is.
Y'all have Napoleon Dynamite at quarterback. I'm not.
We actually have an elusive Jordan Travis, man.
By the way, Brock Bowers should be back by then. So if that's the case, then y'all can really kiss the championship goodbye.
I can't lie. Carson Beck kind of looks like Randall from Monsters, Inc.
Hey, hold on.
He can look whoever he wants to. He's playing amazing right now.
Before we get this thing, man, let's talk about how Jackson's Kentucky can make the play. Oh, wait.
No, not even. Y'all have fun in the bowl.
We're a basketball school.
I meant the Belk Bowl.
We're a basketball school.
I'm looking for Kentucky in the top 25, and I don't think I see him.
Try zooming in.
Whoa.
No Kentucky.
No, top 25. Nah, I don't see that anywhere. And also, by the way, we do have a tough schedule to finish us off with the. What's up?
Oh, Kentucky's number 6 team. That's college basketball. My bad. My bad.
Nice. Hey. But at the end of the day, it's going to be Bulldogs on top, and that is just the way it is. Sorry, Alabama fans. Y'all are going to have to cry when y'all watch something that Nick Saban has never been able to do, and that's win a three-peat. All right, but that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure y'all tune into Sports Pack when you get to see the real Brennan Willoughby Ray host the show. And also, don't go anywhere because we have the Dodgeball Tournament happening right after this show goes off air. So... make sure you tune in. Hey, maybe you might see some Sports Out of Pocket guys on the show.
Jackson appearance, question mark?
Maybe. But maybe. That's all we have time for. Make sure you tune in next week.